Before I begin, there is a brochure at the ends of each row here, and if there are extra ones, please pass it along. This is an article that appeared in EDUCAUSE Review just last week, and my talk today is based on this article. So, sorry, okay. Yeah. Sorry. And there's a QR code here in case you don't have a copy. We have a few extra copies at the front on the way out, so if you'd like. So, okay, good. So great to be here. York University's only 65 years old, so we were very humbled by a university of that age, of Bologna. So anyway, welcome this morning. It's enjoyable to be here, my very first Eden conference, and it's an amazing group. It's small, intimate, you get to know people, and it's terrific. So congratulations to Eden Organization, Mr. President-elect. Okay. So my presentation, personalized AI tutoring as a social activity, paradox or possibility. And I want to begin by asking you a very simple question. Have you noticed how many tutoring services have popped up around lately? This is at home in the Toronto area. You can hardly drive by a strip mall and you don't see a tutoring academy of some sorts. Kumon Learning, for example, many others. And just out of curiosity, I did a little search yesterday and saw just in the Graz area at least a dozen tutoring services. And these are physical locations, not the virtual ones that are available to students. And in fact, they are growing. We're seeing huge numbers of that, and it's projected to continue in growth. So tutoring services are a big thing. So the question then is, more important, is why? Why are we seeing this kind of growth? Well, there are many reasons, but the simple answer is what we saw yesterday from Denise as well, Bloom's famous 2 Sigma study, where we show the students who received individually tutored instruction succeeded at least 2 standard deviations above the average of those who are receiving traditional instruction. What that translates to is that 95% of the students who were instructed individually exceeded the mean of the students who were receiving normal instruction. 95% of them scored higher. But the important question here is not about tutoring itself. Bloom said, well, the reason I'm showing this is I want to be able to encourage researchers to come up with traditional classroom instruction that can approach the success of individual tutoring, because scaling up individual tutoring is just not practical. At least it was not practical until about 1.5 years ago when we saw OpenAI and ChatGPT. Now, all of a sudden, scaling up worldwide access to tutoring is certainly very feasible. And in fact, in the last year or so, we've seen literally hundreds of AI-based tutoring programs appear on the market. Many of them are simply designed for, to put it crudely, homework cheating to help students solve their homework, particularly in math and sciences. However, not all are that way, and the tool that we've developed at Contact North, AI Tutor Pro, is not one of those. It's a tool, a digital assistant that will help students, any user, learn about any topic, really anywhere, and in virtually any language as well. So, but one important dimension that seems to be missing from all this, okay, do we want students to be working on their own individually? No, I don't think we do. What about the important social skills? We know, all of us know from our own universities, our own instructional experience, that the social dimension to learning is critical. It's absolutely essential. We know that students need to develop not only their interpersonal skills, but when they are involved in many of the active learning activities that we encourage in classroom face-to-face instruction, they do succeed better, they are more motivated in general, and less likely to drop out of their studies. So social learning is very important. So now, my argument today is, how can we combine the two? Can we combine the individual learning, the success of that, with the essential social learning that we all know is essential for today's instruction. Well, I'm arguing that yes, you can do that. It is a possibility. It's not a paradox. There's not two different methods of instruction here, but there are possibilities of combining AI tutoring with social learning activities. And there's a possibility of it if you have two factors in mind. First of all, you have to have a tutor that facilitates that kind of interaction, that makes it easy to use, and it fosters social activities, and you have to design the activities themselves. So what I'm going to show today, I'm going to show some of the activities that you can use with any tutor basically, but our tutor, AI Tutor Pro, is one that is particularly amenable to use in this kind of situation. So first of all, I'll give you a little overview of AI Tutor Pro. This is not going to be a demonstration. In fact, if you come back here at 11 o'clock, you'll have a hands-on action lab on using AI Tutor Pro and our other companion tool for instructors, AI Teaching Assistant Pro, the two flagship tools we've developed at Contact North. So AI Tutor Pro is available freely to anyone. You can access that, aitutorpro.ca, anytime, anywhere. There's no hidden charge. There's no freemium version where you've got to show your credit card later on down the road. No, absolutely. We don't track students. We don't track users. There's no personal information stored whatsoever. No login ID required, no Google access, and so on. So we've got two main components to our tool. There's first one, check my knowledge, and then the other is grow my knowledge. Check my knowledge, it's a tool that will allow students and users to assess where they are, how much they understand about a particular topic. Grow my knowledge is assuming you know very little about that topic and you want to increase your understanding of the topic, and it's more of a Socratic tutor that steps you through the learning process to learn more about a topic. I'll give you an example. As I said, it's not going to be really a demonstration at all. There's a concept in physics of distance versus displacement. It sounds more complex perhaps than it is. There's how many kilometers from Graz to Vienna as the crow flies. That's the displacement. The distance, the way we drive by road, of course, is much longer. So that's a basic concept in physics. So I put that in. So let's see I'm going to see what I know about that particular topic, distance versus displacement. You notice we have some choices here of language. And we have 29 languages available. The interface is in English or French. We've got a French version of this tool as well. And you can choose the language for response. And learning level, that tells you, it's really a case of what kind of level of language do you want in your response. Do you want sort of a more simplified language explanation of the concepts, or do you want sort of a age-appropriate, let's say, a response? So let's take a look. For instance, I entered this, distance versus displacement. I'm not expecting you to read this, but just to give you an example, it starts off by asking, welcoming you, and here's your first question. This is checking your knowledge, checking your understanding. So what's the, okay, you start from your home, walk 3 kilometers north, and then 4 east. So what's the distance? Well, it's 7. Now, the displacement, how far it is actually you're away from that destination, is a little more complicated. So I said 7, yes, kilometers, and I just guessed at 6. I knew it wasn't 6, but anyway, and I got the response back again, and so on. So we carry on, and I just want to show you, but just go back to this slide. You notice here where I've checked summary? This is a key factor in our tool, because it's going to give a summary table of our learning. And that's important, again, I think you'll see for social purposes. So next, I carried on this dialogue, and so on. It gave me feedback, and I carried through the discussion, and then I came to the summary table. I said, done, and here's the summary table. Now, the scoring here is arbitrary. It means whether I got it correct or partially correct, 10 or 5. So, but we won't worry about that. But so it gives you the answer. The question was asked, the correct answer, and the answer that I gave, and scores it. Now, for the social aspect of it, there's 2 features built in here. You see down here the green icon. You click on that, and that will copy this table. And that would allow, say, if students are using this tool to, say, paste it into a common Google document that the class was working on. And so you could share your understanding with others. And you see the other links here, X, Facebook, and LinkedIn. You could share the table also there. And again, if it was a class discussion and everyone was using, say, LinkedIn, they would be able to access the table and see everyone's results, and the instructor could then discuss the results, discuss sort of misunderstandings, and correct any misunderstandings about that particular concept. So you've got that, and also you can get a copy of the whole transcript as well of all your interactions all the way along. So that's the Check My Knowledge tool. The Grow My Knowledge tool, I entered another topic, the history of the Berlin Wall. So it's very diverse. You can literally enter any topic, and you're going to get good, solid responses. The difficulty level, I said introductory. You can go to advanced if I want a more complex understanding of the Berlin Wall, and here it is. And so welcome to AI Tutor Pro. Let's start our journey into this incredibly significant period of history with a question. Can you tell me what the main event was that led to the construction of the Berlin Wall? I kind of naively said end of World War II, which wasn't really the reason for it. So it encourages me along the way. Great start. Yeah, okay, great start. The end of World War II set the stage, but that was not really what led to it. And it goes on into discussion and steps you through the learning of understanding about the history of the Berlin Wall. And so I carried on, and the dialogue continued. Yes, it was really, okay, what date Berlin Wall started to be built? I said, well, when USSR was beginning to crumble, but no, that wasn't it. It was actually the height of the Cold War when it was constructed. And so anyway, again, it steps you through. And through the process, you can say simply, help me, and it'll give you the feedback that you want, or you can say, I don't know, ask me another question, and the tool will do that and carry on. It's got infinite patience. And just to show you, most of you probably speak German in the room here, and you can see that we got a response in German if we wanted it. And so we could do it, as I said, in 29 different languages. So that's our tool, a very brief overview of our tool, but the important thing I want to cover, though, is some of the social activities. And in the brochure that I've passed out and in the article, I list 10 different activities that you might want to use with a tool like this. And I won't be able to go through them all today because of time limitations, but we've got 10. And for instance, 10 questions. This is an idea where you can use the tool. You can tell the students, okay, you're in the class. It could be physical, face-to-face class, or it can be online. Here I want you to, let's say you're in a history class and you're studying the Industrial Revolution, for instance. Okay, I want you to answer 10 questions about the Industrial Revolution, and then post that table to Twitter, X, or else post it into a document, and we can share it and discuss issues related to the Berlin Wall. Role playing, I'll just jump to that. For instance, you might have students then taking, let's say, philosophy, and they're studying philosophy of ethics. One student or group of students might take Aristotle, another Kant, another Nietzsche, for instance, and they can explore the tool, explore those concepts, those philosophers' perspectives on ethics, and then get together and discuss and compare them through that table, or just through discussion and reflection afterwards. I'll jump along here. Blended learning is another possibility. If you could imagine, say, that 10 questions activity conducted online. Students form small groups, and they go into the discussion rooms, breakout rooms in Zoom, discuss it, come back to the main room, and share their findings there. Foreign language learning, another one I just want to highlight as well. Very important. Let's say we've got an oral component, which you'll see demonstrated in the action lab after. Everything you see on the screen can be read out, and you can answer verbally as well, orally as well. And so you could imagine, again, say 2 students working together. studying, let's say they're studying Italian and they want to study Michelangelo. So the questions would appear, and one student might read it out to the other, and the other one would respond in Italian, and so on. They could carry on a dialogue that way. Lastly, I'll just jump once ahead here. Peer teaching is another great way of using this tool, for instance. And with that, you could have students studying through the GROW tool, a particular topic. It could be, let's say biology, cellular biology. Students are studying different aspects of it, and then they get together after and teach each other, share their outcomes. Very quick overview of the many features, but as I said, please refer to this or the online article, and you can get some idea of some of the activities that you might try with a tool like AI Tutor Pro. So just in conclusion, where are we going? Okay, we're really just scratching the surface here, but I want to argue that we can take advantage of the strengths of online tutors, of AI tutors, and combine those with social activities. We shouldn't see them as mutually exclusive ways of teaching. They can be integrated, and with the right tools and the right activities, we can do it. And we're just beginning, because I think the future is quite promising for developing AI even further. Those of you who've seen, for instance, the OpenAI demonstration on Omni, which we're using that model for Omni, with the verbal interaction, where you can interrupt the tutor and so on. It's just quite amazing. So we've got a very bright future to look forward to. Here are the links for AI Tutor Pro and AI Teaching Assistant Pro, and my contact information as well, if you'd like